Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from Group 2. We present to you the NZ Crunchies company profile as the perfect competition market structure. The team members of Group 2 consist of me, Siti Syafiqah binti Nordin, AINSYIRAH binti ZUBIL, NADZIRAH WAHIDAH binti MOHAMAD, FARISYA ALIYYA binti HAMDAN, Muhammad AFIF SYAZWAN bin Muhammad ASRI, Wan AREEF AMSYAR bin Wan Muhammad JAFNI, and Wan Muhammad YUSUF bin Wan AMINUDDin.
Auzubillahiminasyaitonirrajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Okay, for part 1.0, overview of the firm and its core activity. Okay, NZ Crunchies is one of the brands under the company NZ Frozen Industries Sdn Bhd. It specializes in producing various flavors of snacks and packaged in 3 editions, namely bottle edition, pouch edition, and roll edition. Okay, next, Since 1997, they have met the demands and gained the trust of customers through their products throughout Malaysia, Singapore, Brunei, and Saudi Arabia. The snacks under NZ Crunchies are known to have a variety of unique flavors and a thin and a crunchy snack texture. Moreover, NZ Crunchies is a snack food wholesaler, which is the latest variety of poppy skin snacks and manufactured in the industrial complex Johor Bahru, Johor.
NZ Crunchies is a perfect competition market. A brief definition of perfect competition: this market happens when all companies sell identical products, whether they are a commodity or homogeneous products. Companies can enter or exit without barriers, but they cannot determine the price. The market share also does not influence the price. Another example of this market structure is internet-related industries. NZ Crunchies is one of the well-known examples for perfect competition. In short, perfect competition is the opposite for monopoly market. We can see some characteristics for perfect competition market. The characteristics are: the goods offered for sale are all the same, buyers and sellers are numerous, buyers and sellers are able to access the perfect information, no barriers to entry or exit the market, and lastly, no government intervention. The potential buyers and sellers are aware about the market price, and they could not make any change because they are both price takers. Hence, NZ Crunchies is a perfect competition market because it fulfills all the criteria.
The production cost is the total cost incurred by a manufacturer to deliver a good or service. This cost is used to pay for labor, supplies, overhead, and other production-related costs. Fixed costs, variable costs, total cost, average cost, and marginal costs are some of the several types of costs. No matter how much is produced or sold, fixed costs always remain the same. The level of activity inside a corporation has no impact on this type of cost. In NZ Crunchies, 2 examples of fixed costs are the store's location and appealing exterior. A cost that varies based on the volume of production or sale is known as a variable cost. Variable costs include the cost of raw materials, direct labor, and delivery, the materials required to produce the product, the pay paid to the employees, and the state-specific costs associated with distributing the product throughout the nation will all be included in NZ Crunchies' variable costs. Adding fixed costs and variable costs together generate the total cost. The marginal cost is the cost incurred when producing one more unit of a good or service. It is calculated by dividing the quantity change by the change in total cost, divided by average fixed cost and average variable cost. The average cost is calculated by dividing the total cost by the number of units produced. It serves as an indicator of a company's manufacturing process economic effectiveness. The average total cost is calculated by dividing the total cost by the quantity of cost. Average revenue, marginal revenue, and total revenue are the 3 different forms of revenue curve. We are all aware that a market system characterized by perfect competition has several firms selling the same product to to a large number of clients. NZ Crunchies is the best example of perfect competition because several companies sell the same product. Business must accept the price established by a market force in a market with perfect competition in order to keep customers. Since the price of every additional product the business sells will remain the same, in the ideal competition, the marginal revenue curve will be a straight line reflecting continuous revenue earned. The whole amount of money a business makes from the sale of its products in a market with perfect competition is also known as total revenue. The total revenue curve will eventually continue to grow, since the revenue will increase with each additional unit sold. The average revenue, which determines output revenue per unit of production, is equal to the market price in a market with perfect competition. The amount sold has no impact on the market price since it is constant regardless of how much output a company produces. Under perfect competition, average revenue and marginal revenue curve will be equal.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today I'll be presenting about the pricing strategy to maximize profit that being used by NZ Crunchies company. So the overall view is that we can say that NZ Crunchies is in the market classification of perfect competition. This means that all the firms inside the market are price takers, meaning that they are powerless to change the price of their goods on the market. In this market structure, businesses should concentrate on producing at the lowest cost while maintaining a pricing that is competitive with the markets. The company will make the most money possible by producing at the lowest cost and charging the market price, since each unit will be sold for a price that covers its marginal cost of production. So moving, the first method that been used by NZ Crunchies in maximizing their profits is penetration pricing. So penetration pricing is when the company offers a new product that they would like to sell with a low starting cost. This will ensure that it is cheaper price than the rivals, and the price that they sell of that good can be gradually raised over time to boost profitability. This is done when the company has a large audience or large consumer base and a stable position in the market. Moving on to the second method, which is we call the value pricing. The value pricing is a method of pricing strategy that the company sets the price that emphasizes charging according to the benefits that the consumer will gain from the good. This will establish a situation in which both the buyer and the seller come out ahead. And this will bring out the value of price to the buyer and reasonable profit to the seller. The third way is we call price skimming. Price skimming is when the company establishes a high starting price to their products and progressively lowering the price over time as competition rises or as manufacturing costs fall. This will lure customers to prepare to spend more for brand new cutting-edge goods, so that the price skimming methods aims to maximize the company earnings. The next method is we call the bundle pricing. Bundle pricing is when multiple items are packaged and offered as single unified offering. This is to provide the consumers with additional value and convenience as appealing to them. And this will bring a boost to the sales as the consumers will buy more and more of the value products that has been packaged with multiple items. Last but not least, with the method of we call competitive pricing. Competitive pricing is a pricing strategy that is competitive on the market and still enable to turn a profit to the seller. This can be done by understanding the target market, the competition, and the costs associated with the producing and distributing the product. To do this effectively, the company should strike a balance between pricing and important elements like cost, value, and client demand. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is FARISYA binti HAMDAN, and today I want to present about the equilibrium condition of NZ Crunchies in the short run and long run. It's a lot of product of NZ crunches we can see. So what's mean of condition of equilibrium? So that's mean that the net result of all the exterior forces and moment acting on this object is zero. So in 2019 until now, it's still Malaysian is still in recovery from our disease. So disease is a COVID-19. So the COVID-19 epidemic had shocked supply and demand for NZ crunches. It is because of NZ crunches, quantity demand is increasing. So customer was demand for the product. So that's why the quantity demanded for NZ crunches is increasing. So as a result, supply cannot produce the product of NZ crunches quickly. So the equilibrium condition of NZ crunches in the short run and long run to measure the revenue was affected. So what we can see in our graph. Our graph is okay. So the first graph is the equilibrium condition of NZ crunches in the short run. So supply and demand are inelastic. So we can see in that the equilibrium has been reached. The equilibrium point has been reached at PE and QE. You can see this is PE and this is QE. So these are our equilibrium conditions. So price control was affected by NZ crunches product conditions in the short run. It's because the supplier and demand curves, supplier and demand curves are relatively inelastic. So and as a with inviting price ceiling, price control law causes a shortage of NZ crunches. And the next graph is okay. So our graph is equilibrium condition of NZ crunches in the long run. So supply and demand are elastic. So quantity demanded for NZ crunches increasing. So the supplier will produce a lot of product and a lot of product NZ crunches. So the supply curve shift to the right. So that's mean the new equilibrium conditions has the new equilibrium point has been reached at point P0 to P1 and Q0 to Q1. So price control affected by NZ crunches in the long run. On this graph, so I can see that. So it is because the supply and demand curve for NZ crunches are more realistic. So the price control causes a large shortage. You can see the equilibrium of NZ crunches in the short run is a small shortage. So for the long run, it's a large shortage you can see on the graph. So that's all. Thank you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. So next, discussion on the company recovery from COVID-19 pandemic. So first, promote sales through agent service. Promoting products to the masses is one of the biggest challenge that every company faces. Promotion can be defined as an activity to raise customer awareness of a product or brands. Agents that registered under company can further promote the product launch. Agents can widely share product information and details on their social media account. By using the agent system, company can reduce operating costs compared to having sales representatives who have a fixed salary. Through the agent system, the salary is given in the form of a commission which depends on how many sales the agent makes. Agent system can also make it easier for customer to buy your products. Furthermore, if the customer does not like to deal with buying and selling online, sometimes customers prefers to buy from an agent instead of online. This is because the product will be available faster than using the delivery service, which on average takes around 3 to 7 working days. Okay, next. for the discussion on the company recovery from COVID-19 pandemic. So number 2 is limit production expenditure. So controlling or limiting the rate of production expenses of a company during the COVID-19 phases is very important because the entire world market is affected by the spread of this epidemic. Company needs to ensure that every expense is managed transparently and reliably and that payments are made quickly and accurately. Also, every payment is supported with valid document. Payment must be made to the rightful party, and records of expenditure-related information are fully maintained and updated and stored periodically. Perfect expense management can avoid extravagance, wastage, deviations, and losses to the company.
Another way the company recovers after the pandemic is by providing both offline and online services. As we all know, during the pandemic, people are required to stay at home and work from home. If the company only depends on selling at the physical stores, it will face huge loss. So, in order to maintain the sales, the company created an optimized website, which is NZ Crunchies, to attract buyers on the internet. Besides the website, the company also maximized the usage of social media such as Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, and else to promote its products as well as to improve their customer service. Since the trading session occurs virtually, it is important for the company to review the feedbacks from their customers so they can make improvements. Personalized special offers or discount codes can be provided via emails based on the data obtained from the previous purchase. Companies were affected by the pandemic. Most of them were shut down because they got fewer sales and couldn't pay the employees' wage. To minimize the loss, fewer laborers were recruited. The company alternate from traditional sales to modern sales. They invest more on advanced technology as it helps a lot to ease daily tasks. AI and machine learning can be useful to deal with customer or analyze data. Automated processes such as cloud-based storage often used to reduce manual data entry or to prevent the loss of data such as accounting, inventory management, and else. Less labor means the company need to fully utilize the existing workers. The least important position can be eliminated to reduce the labor costs. The company can focus more on increasing the production.
Next, being in perfect competition market structure have the advantages and disadvantages. The first advantages is consumer-oriented, whereby consumer is the king. Consumers have easy access to replacements for both items and sellers, and may quickly switch to others if necessary. Then, consumers have the power to determine and choose the best product in their preference. In this case, there are more advantages for the consumer than the company. As long as NZ Crunchies have an effective market, more buyers tend to choose their product as they have more interesting marketing. The second advantage is that product features, quality, and rate remain similar everywhere. That being said, consumers have easy access to replacements for both items and sellers, and may quickly switch to others if necessary. Consumers have the power to determine and choose the best product in their preference. And the last advantage is that NZ Crunchies does not have the pricing power. The firm cannot alter the price of the goods as it wanted to. In the NZ Crunchies company, complete pricing control remains in the hands of the demand and supply chain. As the response, the potential of exploiting consumers decreases. Since the barriers to entry into the market are low, the chance of them being exploited is low. That's all from the advantages, and we go to the next slide, which is disadvantages.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Siti Syafiqah binti Nordin, matrix number 1201711. I will explain to you the disadvantages for NZ crunchies being in perfect competition market structure. Primitively, the market of perfect competition structure has low barriers and high freedom to entry and exit of market. There are many buyers and sellers in this market. By not being the first to start the business of snack with various flavors, NZ crunchies must have faced difficulties at the start of their business, as existing sellers of assorted snacks, such as those small sellers with unbranded homemade snacks who have already their regular customers with addition of new customers following festive seasons, always have an advantage over them as the new player in the market structure. Besides, NZ crunchies would also have to face the lacking in economy scale by being in the perfect competition market. There is almost no chance for businesses in perfect competition market structure to achieve maximum profits because of the huge number of the other firms that are selling similar products, which also means to have limited to zero profit margins. Furthermore, NZ crunchies being the firms of perfect competition market structure faces the disadvantages of lacking product differentiation as the products are homogeneous, which means the products are all the same although they are not branded. Therefore, when all consumers have access to the same product, they naturally switch to the lowest price. And last but not least, NZ crunchies would face the lacking incentive of innovation. Though they tried being creative, making their products to have a little differentiation from other products by creating unique flavors such as milky matcha flavor, Korean BBQ flavor, roti bakar flavor, and seaweed teriyaki flavor, other firms can easily enter the market selling the same products with the same variation. This being said, despite creating new unique flavors of their products, NZ crunchies must offer the lowest price possible, or risk being undercut by other competitors who did the same approach of business strategy. That is all from us. Thank you.